Okay, so this test is sectioned off into like the specific parts of the unit. So I will say the title that's up top and then read the questions. Okay, so I'm going to get started. So number 1, manufacturing goods and services is often called A, industry, B, agriculture, or C, slavery. Number 2, throughout much of the 1800s, America moved from an agrarian society to an industrial one. This transformation is called A, the scientific revolution, B, the industrial revolution, or C, the Jeffersonian revolution. Number 3, which of the following inventions was not invented during the Industrial Revolution? So while you're reading it, you're going to think about which one of the inventions did they not make during the Industrial Revolution? Is it A, the musket, B, interchangeable parts, or C, the steamboat? Number 4, how did the Industrial Revolution influence manifest destiny? A, it didn't. The Industrial Revolution took place after manifest destiny was achieved. B, inventions like the steamboat and railroad allowed for faster transportation, making it easier to travel westward. Or is it C, the Industrial Revolution caused the government to force people out of the eastern states and into the west? Number 5, how did the rise of factories increase the production of manufactured goods? A, things could be assembled piece by piece using many workers on an assembly line more quickly than by one person working alone. B, slaves were put to work in factories and they worked harder. C, immigrants could be hired and knew how to make manufactured goods because they did so in their home countries. Okay, so now we're on the next section, which is the War of 1812. So number 6, the War of 1812 was caused by A, British interference in U.S. shipping, B, Britain giving military aid to Native Americans, or C, all of the above. So which one of those was the War of 1812 caused by? Okay. The next section is effects that expansion had on Native Americans. Number 7, the route that the Cherokee and other Native Americans took to the Indian Territory in the 1830s was called the Trail of Tears because A, their clothes would tear as they walked, B, about 1/4, 25%, lost their lives on the route, or C, they rebelled against the U.S. Army and won. So why was the route that the Cherokee Nation and other Native Americans took to the Indian Territory in the 1830s called the Trail of Tears? Number 8, what action did the Cherokee take to resist their removal from Georgia and North Carolina to the west? Did they A, sued the state of Georgia in the courts, B, destroyed neighbors' farms and businesses, or C, staged a protest called the Trail of Tears? What action did the Cherokee take to resist their removal from Georgia and North Carolina to the west? Number 9, Native Americans had long lived in settlements stretching from Georgia to Mississippi. However, President Jackson and other political leaders wanted to open this land to settlement by American farmers. Which statement below can you conclude from the passage above? Is it A, farmers moved onto the Native Americans' land after they were removed? B, Native Americans wanted to move from their lands, or C, Native Americans resisted removal? So I better read the quote again. Native Americans had long lived in settlements stretching from Georgia to Mississippi. However, President Jackson and other political leaders wanted to open this land to settlement by American farmers. Okay, the next section is the Gold Rush. Number 10. James Marshall's discovery in 1848 at Sutter's Mill caused A, the California Gold Rush, B, the California Silver Rush, or C, the Mexican-American War. Number 11. Thousands of people from this country also came to California to find gold. Is it A, Japan, B, China, or C, Mexico? 12. These famous pants were invented for miners during the gold rush. Is it A, Levi's jeans, B, Levi's Dockers, or C, women's capris? Okay, the next section is abolition and the spread of slavery. Number 13. How did the slavery issue get tied up with manifest destiny? A. Native Americans wanted to know if right to own slaves extended to them. B. Americans did not know if the institution of slavery would be allowed in the new territories. C. Southern slaveholders thought expansion in the spirit of manifest destiny would cause their religion to lose power. So how did the slavery issue get tied up with manifest destiny? Number 14, examine the chart and answer the question below. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to examine the chart, and then I'll read the question. Okay. So the question for number 14 is, what invention do you think caused the increases shown in the above chart in the U.S. from 1800 to 1860? A, the assembly line, B, the steamboat, or C, the cotton gin? Remember, the chart is talking about cotton production and slave population. So you're going to want to look at the numbers, look at the increases. Did that cause the increase in assembly line? A, steamboat, B, or cotton gin, C? Number 15. Read the following quote and answer the question below. I therefore hate the corrupt, slaveholding, women-whipping, cradle-plundering, partial, and hypocritical Christianity of the land. I look upon it as the climax of all misnomers, misnaming, the boldest of all frauds, and the grossest, worst of all libels, lies. This quote was probably spoken by which of the following? A, an abolitionist, B, Andrew Jackson, or C, a Native American? I'm going to read the quote one more time. I therefore hate the corrupt, slaveholding, women-whipping, cradle-plundering, partial, and hypocritical Christianity of the land. I look upon it as the climax of all misnaming, the boldest of all frauds, and the worst of all lies. So was this quote probably spoken by A, an abolitionist, B, Andrew Jackson, or C, a Native American? Okay. The next section is Westward movements. Number 16. Why did the Mormons decide to migrate to Utah? A, to find gold, B, to get away from religious persecution, or C, to get free land? 17. Many Americans in Texas called for independence from blank. They won independence using a battle cry of remember the blank. So I'm going to read A, B, and C, and I'm going to fill in the blank. So A. Many Americans in Texas called for independence from Mexico. They won independence using a battle cry of remember the Rio Grande. Is it B? Many Americans in Texas called for independence from the United States. They won independence using a battle cry of remember the Davy Crockett. Or is it C? Many Americans in Texas called for independence from Mexico. They won independence using a battle cry of remember the Alamo. So 18. In 1804, Jefferson sent diplomats to France in hopes to buy the port city of New Orleans. They ended up buying this area, which doubled the size of the U.S. at that time. Is it A, the Northwest Territory, B, Louisiana, or C, Texas? So did they buy A, the Northwest Territory? Did they buy B, the Louisiana Territory? Or did they buy C, the Texas Territory? 19. Why were Lewis and Clark sent to explore the new lands purchased in the above question? So why were Lewis and Clark sent to explore the new lands purchased in the above question? Is it A, to discover and map all new lands in the West? B, to discover and document new plants and animals? Or C, all of the above? So if I were you, I would use number 19 to help you figure out what number 18 is. Number 20. The idea that the U.S. should extend from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean is often referred to as A, Communist Manifesto, B, Manifest Destiny, or C, Predestination. The idea that the U.S. should extend from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean is often referred to as America's A, Communist Manifesto, B, Manifest Destiny, or C, Predestination. 21. What was the first public meeting about women's rights in 1848? Is it A, the Ladies' Convention of 1848, B, the Seneca Falls Convention, or C, the Niagara Falls Convention? So what was the first public meeting about women's rights in 1848? Was it the Ladies' Convention of 1848, B, the Seneca Falls Convention, or C, the Niagara Falls Convention?